Hello class! Today we're going to have a special lesson on DC Universe Classics Wave number 9, figure number 1, Wildcat. Or as he's also known as, Wild Pain in My Ass Try to Find, you have to get him on eBay because you can't find him anywhere else anymore, Wildcat. Yeah, it pisses me off. However, I have an excellent friend, Zenith Fort, who grabbed one of these for me. Thank you very much. It's greatly appreciated because the internet still scares me a little bit. So I didn't have to go through that kind of BS to get him. But anyways, a look here at Wildcat in his packaging. Now the first thing I should point out is if we see Wildcat here, he's in this kind of crazy, stupid pose, and he's wedged up here in the upper corner of the packaging. That's because of this kind of robotic Slimer thing we got down here, which is Chemo or Chemo. I'm going to go back and forth because I don't know how I'm supposed to say it. I'm sure someone will get, oh, you're saying it wrong. I don't care. We'll say Chemo because I like the sound of that better. Until I change my mind. Anyways, he's in there and it's huge, and then, so they had this stuffed Wildcat up over here. There we got a little picture of Wildcat. It's ages 4+, so I think I'm okay. I don't act 4+ though, really, to be honest. It comes with the upper torso, which we can see right there. And on the back, we can see some of the other characters that are in this wave. So there's Wildcat, who we're talking about now, Deadshot, Guardian, who sucks, Black Adam, Mantis, Black Canary, and of course Green Arrow, who comes with a figure stand, which is lovely. We put them together and we get Chemo, who is going to be really freaking big when we finally do put him together. At any rate, our biography on Wildcat. Ted Grant was a heavyweight boxing champion in the 1930s. The dude is ancient. He became a fugitive when mobsters framed him for murder in the ring. Ted donned a black costume and, adopting the name Wildcat, used his combat skills to beat a confession out of the men who framed him. See, you can't do that anymore. Plus, it doesn't work. When you beat the hell out of someone long enough, they'll tell you whatever you want to hear, so you'll stop beating on them. So, maybe that confession was all BS anyway. Sorry, Wildcat decided to remain in costume and focus his attention on mob-related crime. In his civilian identity, Ted Grant has operated a gym and trained Batman, Black Canary, and Catwoman in hand-to-hand combat arts. So there you go, he even schooled Bruce Wayne for a while. And some of his statistics, he first showed up in Sensation Comics #1 in 1942. Another geezer. Don't we? Okay, I'm gonna stop. His real name is Ted Grant. His occupation is professional boxer, gym owner, adventurer. Is adventurer really an occupation? Anyways, his base of operations is in New York, which... in the DC Universe, do they have New York and Gotham City? Because I recognize that Gotham City is New York. But anyways, I don't know. His special abilities, which really should be none, are superior combat skills, particularly in the area of boxing, because there wasn't MMA back in the 30s. He has slowed aging, heightened stamina, and agility, which most really good boxers have. Most good boxers have, well, not the slowed aging. They have heightened aging because of all the blows to the head, but the heightened stamina and the agility. Okay, so, yeah, I think that's good enough. So, there we have our first look at Wildcat. What we're going to do is, we're going to take a break, I'm going to open this thing up, and we'll have a closer look. And maybe let this big blob thing, you know what, maybe it's a boy and his blob. See? See? Nintendo reference? Nah, forget it. Anyways, we'll be back in a second. We are back, we're looking at Wildcat, and to give you a quick, whoa, 360 of him now. There you go. Not too bad, not too shabby. So, in terms of his color scheme, well, you know what? He's black, mostly, with a little bit of gray, a little bit of skin color. On his face, we can see he's got some skin color there, and the gray for the pouches for the cat's eyes, or I guess the cheeks of the cat. I've never really understood that as a design, character design, but I guess that's part of his character, so it's cool. You can see his eyes in there. Very cool. And even his toes, he's got the little nails there at the bottom. I don't know how well we can see those there, that are also a grayish color. Now, I believe there is a variant of the figure. There's a purple version. I don't know actually which one's the regular version, which one's the variant. Although they show the black one on the package, on the back of the package for the wave, so I'm guessing the black one is the standard one and the purple one's the variant. I'm not 100% sure, but you know, I mean, honestly, I would prefer the black one over the purple one anyway, so it's all good. Now, in terms of the sculpt, most of the figure is going to be your standard DCUC figure, which I understand, I keep saying it, that applies to most of them. However, it really does, you know, for the torso, most of his arms, but we get into some detail. I think we'll come back to the head. We'll talk about that separately. But we can see the hands, he's got the tape, you know, the boxers, how they tape their hands. He's got that along his hands, which is nice. They could have just painted that on, but it is, some of it is actually sculpted on. Some nice paint there as well, same with the other. Then his feet, we've got, again, the claws, and what I find very interesting about those is that, again, the claws aren't just painted on, but not only that, I don't know how well my camera's going to show it, you can see the bones of his toes going up his foot as well, which I thought was very, very cool. Instead of just, again, tacking them on, we can see that he's got toes there, foot digits as they were, leading up to those little claws. Which, I should point out, the dude is supposed to be a boxer. And unless you're doing like Thai boxing or kickboxing or MMA, they don't kick. So I don't totally understand the point of this. Maybe it was something addressed in the comic book that I don't know because I haven't read the comic book or anything like that. I've really only seen Wildcat on Justice League. And I just thought he was pretty cool. Now, if we look at his face again, I think the sculpt for his mask is excellent. Besides the fact, again, we've got the cheeks of the cat. We can see the wrinkles in his brow. Looking, and he's just got a, I don't know, he just looks like he's got a fighter's jaw on him. Like he's gruff and he's seen a lot and he can kick the crap out of people. And I like the fact, I think it's supposed to be a chin strap. That's obviously loose, and I like the fact that they have that as well. And again, they even have the ears, the indents there in his ears. Very nice. It looks like a hood that he just, or a mask that he just doesn't tie under his chin, and I think that is excellent. The face is really, really good. My only maybe complaint is that, well, based from Justice League, I couldn't say for the DC canon proper, but isn't he supposed to be kind of an older dude now? Like he's getting up there. He does not look old. Now, it could just be because, you know, they wanted to present him in his younger look, which is also perfectly fine. I just maybe would have liked it a little bit better if he looked a little gruffer, like a little older. But that's okay, because I still think he looks pretty damn cool. Now for articulation, it can be pretty standard. We can move the head all the way around. It does go up and down a little bit, not a whole lot, and the movement of the head is hindered a little bit by the flaps for his mask. Shoulders can go all the way around. We can go up. We can rotate at the bicep. We can bend at the elbow. We're going to rotate his hand at the wrist. Actually, just a little bit above. Oh no, right at the wrist, sorry. He's got that joint in the torso so that goes backwards and forwards. You can do the full red tornado twist at the waist. His leg is going to go all the way out, part of the way back, out to the side. Rotate at the thigh, bend at the knee, and his ankle is going to go forwards and backwards. Now, the one thing I have to say about this particular figure, and given that, you know, most figures, the joints and stuff are pretty much the same, so it must be this particular figure, the ankle is incredibly loose. It's seen better days, which is funny because it's new out of the package. But yeah, the ankle here is in tough shape. I don't know if everybody's would be like that or just mine. It would be bad for me to say I hope it's everybody's, because then it's not just mine. Whatever. I'm not really a good person. I don't give a damn. Anyways, so standard articulation, again, the one ankle is a little bit weak. But, you know, maybe that's what happens when you get old. I know my ankles aren't as good as they used to be. So maybe that's part of it too. So, in terms of accessories, Wildcat's got nothing. And I guess that's okay, because he doesn't need them, because he just punches people in the face. And when you think about it, that's a great way of being a superhero. Hey, what do you do? Oh, I shoot laser beams, I throw fireballs. Yeah, I punch people in the face. He's my kind of hero. Anyways, just punches people in the face. Now, he does come with something. A big blob monster bit thing. Yep, it's the torso of Chemo, and we can see his face there. His face looks actually, honestly, a little goofy. But the one thing I should point out about this, see how well we can do this with the camera, dude's hollow. Look at that. That's a cool effect. And it's actually, this piece is very light. When you compare it to some of the other Collect and Connect or Build-A-Figure, whichever one it is, Collect and Connect, I think. Yep. They're all solid pieces, at least the ones that I have been, so they're pretty hefty. Like the Kilowog torso was hefty. This is relatively light by comparison. In fact, I dare say it's even lighter than Wildcat back here. But I think that was on purpose because it's translucent, so they want to get that effect, and obviously you couldn't do that if it was, you know, like a solid milk chocolate bunny, so it's a hollow milk chocolate bunny. I'd be tempted to try to fill this up with water to get a kind of effect, but that would probably just be a mess. But there it is. And again, for whatever reason, Wildcat's ridiculously hard to get, and it's mildly annoying because it comes with the main piece of chemo that you need. Even though I guess you need all of them, but you know, you need the torso probably more than any of the others. So, I'm looking forward to this one. Anyways, I was going to give our friend Wildcat here a grade, and I'm going to, because I do that. I think Wildcat here deserves a grade of, we're going to say a B+. He's not one of my favorite DCU figures, but he's pretty damn good, and I just like the way he looks. And even though a lot of his design is, like, there's a lot of generic bits to him, like, basically all of his legs, his whole torso, and his arms up to his wrists, he still has character, which is funny because some of the other figures just don't. And they don't necessarily have any more or less detail, it's just they just lack character. And Wildcat does not suffer from that. I think he just looks pretty damn cool. So I think that's going to be our lesson on Wildcat. Eventually, I think we're going to get around to putting together Slimer here with the rest of his bits. At any rate, thank you very much. Class is dismissed.